Laden?
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Nein!
And suddenly,
Nein!
I was a cat.
Was? Eine unsichtbare Katze.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Ja, ist ja auch kein Wunder. Ich ein Vogel wäre, das jetzt so eine Katze wäre, würde ich wahrscheinlich auch Angst haben. Die Steuerung ist gerade richtig am. Und auch die. Moment, kann ich das vielleicht ein bisschen runterschrauben? Steuerung. Ja, schon viel. Oder? Oder noch ein bisschen. Ja, ich mach noch mal ein bisschen. Nee, das war zu viel. Ja.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Wo muss ich denn jetzt? I gobbled her up. Nein.
And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits. His face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark! I rolled off the cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good. Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? And the captain shot her, put him in bed with the captain shot her, put him in bed with the captain shot her. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? 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 Put him in the scuppers with a hose, put him in the scuppers.
Passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Lass mich raten, mein Gott.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. Closer and closer. All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Was? Bitte was?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
No. Das sind tatsächlich wir. Edith Finch. Sind wir tot und gehen unsere Erinnerungen durch, oder wie soll ich das verstehen?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
1937 erbaut. Edith Finch.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Okay. Die wollte bleiben. Also hier noch.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Junior. Oder sind wir es doch nicht? Ich weiß es gerade tatsächlich nicht.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Das ist die Rutsche, genau hier. Die Rutsche von draußen. Ich wusste, dass die noch irgendwie eine Bedeutung hat. Jahre. Und bevor ich da reingehe, schaue ich mich hier noch mal ein bisschen um.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Ja.
Her room was like a museum.
Oh, ist das so eine Nähmaschine, die man irgendwie... Meine Oma hatte mal so einen Tisch gehabt, der hat immer noch, also der existiert auf jeden Fall noch. Es war ein Tisch und in dem Tisch hast du eine Nähmaschine gehabt. Die konntest du aber irgendwie dadurch, dass du dann halt Tisch so gesehen oben in der Platte aufschließt, konntest du ihn einfach so raus. Ist das auch sowas? Hier unten dieses ganze alte Portal. Wo denn? Das war doch der Opa, ne?
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Oh Gott, das ist aber jetzt nicht dieses Haus, oder?
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Baby Molly, genau, das war ja Odins Tochter Edie. Ja, Mann. Die Edie, das musste... Warte mal, das kann aber gar nicht sein. Edie, wenn das die Oma ist und Odin ist ja da... Oh, wie kann der... Ja, mein Sven und Baby Molly. Sind die doch nicht liiert gewesen?
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
No.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Okay, das war's.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Warte mal, der Odin, der hatte mit Ingeborg... Die waren zusammen und dann kamen sie hier die Omi, ich glaube, wie hieß die Edie? Und Edie hatte dann einen Ehemann und die haben zusammen Molly gekriegt. Na, hier unten ist Edie. Sven. Mach das Buch zu. Mach das Buch zu. Jetzt hier. Nee.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Eine Flasche Champagner. Beim Scheißen trinke ich auch gerne so eine. Entschuldigung. Quietscheentchen. Ne.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Ist das eine Dunkelkammer? Sieht zumindest so aus, nur zum Fotos herstellen.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Ja, definitiv eine Dunkelkammer.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him.
Willkommen Center.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Gott süß. 11 Jahre?
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Ja, war das mit dem Fuß, ne?
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore he'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
Oh,
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
wow, das ist ja.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Oh, ist das übel. Dann sind wir mit Calvin oft durch.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Ja, deswegen war es hier so abgetrennt.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Das Zimmer nie wieder betreten. Ja.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Hier kommen wir wieder raus.
Growing up,
Geht doch nicht.
I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Street.